next guest is often called one of the prettiest women in the world. As a child, you saw her in countless ads. As a matter of fact, nothing got between her and her Calvin Klein jeans. At 12, she made her film debut in a movie called Pretty Baby. You don't know who it is yet, do you? From there, it was on to Blue Lagoon and Endless Love. Her latest movie, Brenda Starr, brings the comic strip heroine to life. Let's take a look.
Lash, Brenda Starr is headed out of the comics.
I've had it. Up to here, Buster.
Onto the big screen.
It's Brenda! Look it!
And into real life.
Oh! Star's still alive!
And what a life she leads.
It's Brenda! Here's to the star.
Thanks, Buster.
It's Brooke Shields. Here she is. My legs now because you're here.
Okay, there you go. Sorry. She's so tall. There's a way to cross your legs, you know, when you're in a skirt.
No,
on
that's fine. You're just so tall.
Negotiating it.
We didn't tell them who was coming until they just found out now. They're still kind of...
Well, they gave me such a warm welcome. Thank you.
This movie, it's not released yet, or
no,
is it?
No, actually, Brenda Starr has been finished, has been edited in the can for 4 years, and it ran into litigation problems. And it's such a shame because, I mean, we've had it. It was the first comic strip movie of its kind. Nobody else had dealt with a subject like
Something
that
very
before.
different for you to do, too.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah,
but I had lived with Brenda all my life, basically, because she actually was in the Chicago Tribune. She started off in the Chicago Tribune. And she was a favorite of mine, and I always wanted to play her. And got the chance to work with Timothy Dalton and Diana Scarwood, Charles Durning, and it was such a wonderful cast. And then it got tied up legally, and I mean, they tell me November 29th, and I would love to sit here and say it's definitely going to be coming out. My fingers are just crossed. So are my legs.
Now, I heard some stories.
Painfully so,
Your
I
pearls.
must
They're
say.
just sitting on the mic here.
I promised I wouldn't do that.
I heard some stories about that it was financed by an Arab sheik because he was in love with you or something. Is
well,
that true?
I think that was probably the initial contact. I mean, there was their money that they wanted to invest in films, and they chose certain people that they wanted to work with, and I was one of them. And they put the money up for the film. And I just hope it comes out.
Oh, I do too. It looks great.
You.
I realized as I was reading about you, of course, I knew from how long you've been around. You've been famous all your life. You were practically born famous. What does it feel like, and how do you handle that in your personal life?
It's interesting. I think if I were to really sit down and think about it on those terms, I probably would be more in awe of it because I very rarely do I step so far back that I marvel at it. I think by reaching a certain level of fame or celebrity, whatever, at a young age, it didn't prove to be such a shock to me later. And I've seen 18-year-olds and get launched into the film industry, and it just destroys them because they know anonymity. And
You never had the shock of stardom. No. That's all you've ever known.
And I've been around and in the film industry ever since I was very young, so it's natural to me. The process of filmmaking is comfortable to me.
What was the first time you ever? You started as a baby model, right?
I was a baby model at 11 months old. And then
you didn't know you were a star.
Not going to get a lot of argument there. Goo. And then I made my first movie actually when I was 9. And after that, after I did Pretty Baby, I made a film a year for about 10 years.
Do you ever have moments when you think, gee, I wish I had a normal life sometimes, especially when you were younger, growing up as a teenager?
I think if I hadn't gone to school, if I hadn't gone to a regular high school and gone on to college, I would have regretted that. But that's the only...
It was the closest you came to a normal life, probably.
Well,
right?
it was my life as it really would have been. When I was in school each time, through high school and through college, I was really just a student with the other kids. It happened that I had an after-school job. We all did. Mine was just a bit different. And I had a lot of support from my friends. So I don't look back at that. In fact, if I ever were to say that I would do it again, I would hope that I would have started as young as I did, just for the shock value alone.
Not to have that shock of hitting something big.
there's a lot to be said with being comfortable in this business because it's surrounded by so much pressure. It involves pressure on so many levels at so many different places, so you really have to be fortified, and school did that for me.
And when you went to school, when you went to Princeton, it may have been normal for you, but it wasn't normal for the other kids there, right?
Well, the first semester it was a little tough. The funny thing was people avoided me. Instead of coming up to me, they really avoided me, wanting to give me my space, so to speak. So, in essence, they were respecting me, which was,
Or
I
maybe
had no
they
friends,
may have
but
been,
it was great.
They may have been intimidated.
It was something.
Don't you intimidate people, though, do you think?
I don't know. You know, I was watching your other segments and shows, too, and I think that now women are in a period in life, their life as well as sort of American life at this point, where if they're intelligent, if they're fairly strong and rather sure of themselves, they represent a threat. And that's what I've found. And then being famous usually created a little bit of a difficulty, but it didn't take long for them to, you know, warm up.
Your mom gets a lot of credit for your whole career. I mean, she basically, and still is everything, your manager and runs your career for you.
It's nice that you said credit, because that's really what it should be. And as I get older, I'm realizing so much more what my work and what this business really is all about. And it's hardly as glamorous as people think it is. And it's hardly as positive. And if you don't have people who are on your side, it'll just destroy you. And I think that I've been lucky to have her.
People are always curious about that relationship. I know it's written about a lot between you and your mom, but you are close and you do get along.
And we're friends before we're anything else. And I think that that's necessary. I mean, it really, people are so ready to criticize. And I think that usually that stems from jealousy. And I think that the mother-child relationship is such a unique one, and we really only get one chance.
How's your love life?
How's my love life? I should watch your show and read more to find out how it really is.
I know how you can meet men.
It really, I think I'll pass, thank you.
Are you seeing anybody?
Actually, no.
You've been linked with a lot of John Kennedy Jr.
I've been linked to them all. It feels like I have anyway. That's what everybody is so, they want me to be with someone so much. It's very funny. I think people, like everybody wants me to be with somebody, but I have to say that I'm so anxious right now. Anxious is a good word, restless, I guess I should say too, about my career, because it's really the primary motivation in my life right now, that I don't think I would be a really good girlfriend.
Oh, you really are available
Yeah,
then.
well, I mean, yeah, I really just don't. I'm so focused on what I want to do in my acting career, opposed to what I just did as a child, which was fun, but I didn't have any really invested.
How many times have you been proposed to?
4. That's the truth. I mean, it really is. I just realized I never counted it. You know,
I haven't been proposed to 4 times. Well,
I'm sure, given a chance, we're not going to open it to the audience at this point, are we? You'll be inundated.
whoever wants to propose to Brooke can line up at the side of the
I'm
stage
talking
while we're
about
on a break. We're back talking to Brooke Shields. Very, very nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
What's your pet peeve? What
It's-
really steams you?
Let's see, I've got a lot of little things. Usually when TV shows say to be continued, it really drives me crazy. Because, well, especially the way my life is, I'm lucky if I get to watch 1 episode of something, let alone 2, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've spent a lot of years on the road as a musician before I ever got into television, and you never could watch a mini-series or anything. You just,
Or like when people honk the minute the light turns green. It's like, yeah, I want to sit at this light longer, too. I'm purposely sitting here to annoy you, you know?
do you ever curse?
Do I ever curse? My mom's watching this show. I curse, yes, I do. And the thing is, my mom, she hates it. My mom hates it. She says it doesn't sound ladylike and it's terrible. But you know, you go to college and you start, like, oh shoot, usually doesn't work when you've just, your toe is bleeding from, you know, stubbing it on.
Wait, who has some kind of girl talk questions? Who wants to ask Brooke a question? What do you want to ask?
Well, how many clothes do you have? We are talking about shopaholic today. And how many?
Oh, how many clothes do you have?
have?
How many closetfuls?
I had to take one room and convert it into a closet. Because,
Did you?
You know, it's funny with women, especially with black tie dresses, you can't wear them more than once. You wear them once, and if you're photographed in it, then you've got, I mean, I wore something, I had 5 years in between wearing it, and I was happy I still fit into it. And then they put, the next day it was like People magazine or something, or the, Star Trek's page or something. They put in both photographs of it. So, I have to like, I can't recycle my clothes as much as I'd like to. So.
Is there anything that was ever printed about you that you really made you mad? You can fight back on this show.
I think it's interesting when anybody is just so quick to criticize whether, say a woman who looks a certain way is not intelligent. It really bothers me. Or if they attribute something that I do to being pushed into doing it, it really underestimates my intelligence and my strength of character, and I'm bothered by that.
You went to Liz Taylor's wedding, right?
Yes, I did.
You were one of the few people that was there. Could you tell us a little bit about it? What it was like?
Michael called me, and
Michael
at Jackson.
Oh,
I'm
Michael.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, Liz, Larry, Michael, we're all like this. Like so pretentious. Michael Jackson called me and asked me if I would be his guest because he needed a date to be at the wedding because it was at his house. And so he called me, and I was able to go up the night before to the ranch and sort of see the preparation. And everybody, it was a family-oriented wedding. I mean, there were a lot of helicopters, which sort of ruined it for the audience as far as that was concerned. I mean, us, we didn't get to hear the vows, but they did. And I saw Liz turn to Larry and to the minister and say, "It's okay, it's just for us." And she wasn't bothered, so, we weren't.
Was a chimpanzee in the wedding?
No, no, Bubbles didn't make it. I don't know what he was doing. He's probably had another engagement, I don't know.
I was the potato salad. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
The food was excellent. The
was.
cake was a chocolate cake with white icing. It was really good with Heath Bar.
Who else has questions? What do you want to ask?
I was going to ask, with your busy schedule, do you have a diet or exercise regimen?
Well, I work out every day.
Tell me you eat chocolate once in a while.
Oh, it's terrible. It's about a year ago I developed the crazy taste for chocolate. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't like chocolate. It gave me a headache. Oh. And then I hit 25, and I was like crazy about chocolate, which is not something I'm proud of, but it's a reward. I do exercise every day, and I don't eat any meat, and keep the fat content low. Sorry.
What's your biggest favorite pig out?
Ice cream. I could live on ice cream.
What flavor?
What flavor? Content. Coffee Haagen-Dazs.
Ooh, yes.
yes.
Okay.
It's so satisfying, and they say that with chocolate it secretes the same
same hormones.
the same hormones as laughter and happiness does. It's like no wonder why the world is addicted to it.
Yeah.
What's your birth date?
May 31st, 1965.
65? We're trying to get to all the questions. Okay. Do one for me. Fill in the blanks. People would really be surprised to know that I actually
am very bad-tempered.
Oh, yeah, you really convinced us. Oh, yeah. We really believe that. You're not serious.
I have a very hot temper. I get it from my dad, I think. My dad's Italian. And it's just, I am
What do you do when
stubborn
you get
and
mad?
I revert it back to myself. I get angry at myself, and I usually have to go back to the gym or dance or just scream or do something. But I have no patience for myself at all.
Yeah.
And that's a source of tension in my life. But
You are involved in some charity work now. I know quite a few, actually, different charities, right?
It is, yeah, I am. It's hard to decide which charities I can give my time to because I don't have a lot of time that's free. But Toys for Tots has been a charity that I've been involved with sort of indirectly since I was younger. Because we always at Christmas time used to buy extra gifts and give them to the local chapter of Toys for Tots wherever the Marine Corps Reserve had their drop-off points. And the MCI called me in conjunction with the Marine Corps
MCI
Reserve.
is sponsoring
yes,
this year,
MCI,
I think, right?
it's the Friends and Family Holiday Tour. And they called me to be their national spokesperson. And we launched a 15-city tour in D.C. And we're here for Toys for Tots. as well.
You all know what Toys for Tots is, right? It's a wonderful
It's
cause.
great, and it's so easy because, if everybody, when they went to go do their Christmas shopping, sort of just bought another one. Put an extra one on your list.
Exactly.
It's got to be unwrapped and new, and they're not just for little kids, also for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds.
Very easy. Just buy 2 of whatever you're buying. In fact, we have a little surprise for you. We have something we'd like to send out to Toys for Tots.
Oh.
This is for your
great.
cause. Here it is.
Oh, wow! this is wonderful. I'm sorry, I hit my microphone. This is great. Oh my God. Wow.
And we're making a donation to you, and also you should do the same thing. And you know, you do it. Any city has a contact through the Marines, right?
Exactly, through their the local chapter of the Marine Corps Reserve. And I mean, doesn't have to be as exorbitant, and this many one is fine, but this is great. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke, so much for being here. We'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.